Hey, good morning. Today we're going to do a review. We've been doing a whole lot of math and getting a little bit more complicated every time. And so we're going to do a review today before we take the quiz tomorrow. Okay, and it's going to encompass everything that we've been working on. Absolute values, word problems, distributed property, getting rid of things, and getting that variable by itself. So we're not going to do the whole thing today, but we're going to do a whole lot of you try it's in class today, and so they're going to use their whiteboards quite often. And we're not going to do all of the problems because I think you guys are catching on to the steps like this first page here. Let's review here real quick just what we're supposed to do. Number one, you always remove parentheses. That's always going to be our first step. If we have parentheses, we want to remove them or do the work inside of them. Second, we're going to look for like terms. And then lastly, we're going to isolate the variable. Whoops, itself is one word. Okay? Alright, so we should be getting, and people in class really are, getting really good at this, that I don't have any work inside my parentheses, but I need to get rid of this guy. Now, this is a -1, so when I do that guy, I want to do them at the same time I'm going to do these parentheses. That's a -1 times x, so that's a minus x. And negative times negative, by now we should be really good, is a +7. If you're not if you're still having to put that in the calculator, you need to really focus in on that rule that a negative times a negative is a positive. Okay? I want to collect my like terms. I see x's and x's there for a total of -9x. I see a -6 and a +7 there. Those are like terms. And a -6 and a +7 is a +1. And now I want to get rid of that 1. Oops, that's a 45. And get rid of that 9. Like I said, a lot of kids in class are doing really well now that they can just whip through this thing. And don't forget, positive divided by negative is a negative. Alright. Pause your video, do the you try it over here. Even though we have a fraction here, it's not a big deal. So here's what I do. 12 times 4 in my calculator and divide by 3. And then record it. I'm going to take this guy times this guy. I'm going to take 27 times 4 divided by 3. Okay, that'll speed things up for you. So pause your video. I have the answer on the next page. Let's see how you can do it on your own. Kids in class will be putting on their answer on a whiteboard. Okay? Let's see how you did. I didn't do 2 or 3. It's 3 and 4 that I'm going to do skipping. Alright, here we go real quick. Let's get this one out of the way. Sorry, just hang in there. Or fast forward your video. I know 12 times 4. Sorry, 12 times 4. I have to catch up here. It's 48 divided by 3 is 16. So that's going to be a -16k's. 27 times 4 divided by 3 is 36, and negative times positive is a -36. I'll bring everything straight down. I'm going to work on my k's first. If I get these k's over here, I'll have a positive. If I got these guys over here, I'd end up with a negative, so I don't like that. So I'm going to put +16k's on both sides. Try to keep my k's positive. Equals -57. And 16 minus 9, my brain's not thinking this morning, is a 7k's. Let's get that 57 to the other side. Now I got 57 take away 36. It's a 21. I got more positives than negatives. And last step, let's get rid of that 7. So, sorry about that. Hopefully you got K is 3. Hopefully you fast forward your video to this point right here. K is 3. Alright. I think you guys are doing really good on that, and these two problems are just like the two that we did. So what I'd like for you to do is put an X there, and let's go do ratios over here that we did. And we learned that we cross multiply on ratios here. So I'm going to put 5 times a minus 6. And I know 10 times 6 already is 60, so I'm just going to put that in right there. Alright, get rid of the parentheses. So let's get that 30 to the other side. Let's get rid of that, and that 5. 18 looks like. Alright, now we're going to be back to what kids are doing in class. So they're going to do this one in class. So pause your video, and when you're ready, come on back, and I'm going to roll it to the next page, and the answer's on the next page, okay? Let's see how you did on your own, though, without my help. Alright, let's see how you did. Over there on the left, number 5 is 18, just like I got up above. Did you get -4? If not, pause my video and then check out my work there, okay? Alright, so I want you to have a good chunk of time on your homework today. You can put an X on 7 and 8. Let's go right down to absolute values, because I'm pretty confident that you can do these two guys. Now, absolute values, our rule says get the absolute value by itself, and then once it's by itself, write it twice, once with a negative, once with a positive. I'm always going to keep an eye out, though, that if I have my absolute value by itself and it's a negative, well, then it's no solution. We're still good here. I got the easy one. X equals -14. X equals 14. That makes the absolute value sign go away. And so when we write our answer, remember we have these brackets. We got a -14, comma 14. Absolute values. Most of the time has 2 answers, and we put them in brackets. Okay? Well, that was pretty quick. You do number 10. And the kids are going to put their answer on the whiteboard, and then we'll check and see how they're doing. Pause your video and give it a shot. Alright, let's see how you did on number 10. I got -4 and 6 down here. Hopefully you did too. If you didn't, pause your video, check out my work, and see where you went wrong. Okay? Probably got it right though. Alright, let's do 11 and 12, because now we're getting kind of a little bit crazy here. I want to do 11, and they're going to do number 12. And then I want to do 13, and they're going to do 14, I believe is how I have it on the next page. We've got to get the absolute value by itself. So I want to subtract 4 from both sides. Still have my absolute value sign. And now I got equals 1. I was thinking I was going to be a negative there, but I'm ready. It's a positive 1, so we're still good. Now I need to write it twice to make the absolute value sign go away. Once is a negative, once is a positive. And now let's get rid of that 7 by multiplying both sides by 7. I got m equals -7. On this guy I wanted to multiply both sides by 7 as well. Goes away. A lot of the times the numbers are the same, but not always. A lot of kids will just say, oh, if it's -7, they don't do the math over here, and they just figure it's a +7, but that's not always the case. Okay? Got to get rid of that -5 before we write it twice. So go ahead and do it. I want to peek down here to see if I got the answers down there. I hope if I do. Alright, so try this one on your own. Pause your video, and then we'll go look at the answer real quick. Alright, let's see how you did. Did you get -3, 1? Okay, got rid of that -5. I was almost thinking this was going to be a negative again, but a negative divided by negative is a positive. Okay? Alright, don't cheat and look at 13 and 14. Let's go back up and do 13, and then you can pause and do 14. Alright, This guy here, easy peasy one. I want the b by itself. So the t's in the denominator, and anytime anything's in the denominator, first step is to get it out of the denominator. So that's going to be an AT over there, and I already got my b by itself. Interesting. That was an easy one. Okay, now over here, that says 1/4 times everything inside the parentheses, and so to make your work easy, instead of getting rid of the parentheses, if it's a times something, let's just multiply by its reciprocal. So I'm hoping that you say, hey, let's get that 4 out of the denominator by multiplying both sides by 4. That's going to make this guy and this guy go away. Alright, take it from there, because there your work from there on is pretty quick and easy. Okay? Alright, pause the video again, finish it up, and let's go see what you got. Alright, let's go see what you got here. Number 14, there's my work of multiplying both sides by 4. And it looks like in 2 steps we could be done. I'm going to add an n to both sides, and I got n minus 32. Alright, we're flying through this guy today, so this will be nice. Alright, let's get... I wanted to do number 15, because this is our first one, or maybe we did one before, I just don't remember it. But let's do this guy, because I want to get this b by itself. And I got all these, this is Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And I want to get this b by itself, so we need to subtract 2, or minus an a squared from both sides. It looks kind of hard just because of all these roots, or exponents of a 2 up there. I got b squared equals, I want to put in alphabetical order, a comes before c. It's kind of a good habit. And now I want the b by itself, so the way to get rid of a square is, we learned in junior high, you take the square root. Now I want to take the square root of that whole thing. This guy cancels out with this guy. So some teachers would say this is an acceptable answer. But I say no, these guys canceled out. I don't think that's an acceptable answer, because really the square root cancels out these 2 guys as well. And so the better answer is b equals minus a plus c. Because if I take the square root of this to cancel this out, well, this square root will cancel that guy, this square root will cancel out that guy. And so I really like this answer better. Okay? Alright. Now, let's go over here and do this guy. What do you think I'm going to do first on this one? Because tomorrow on the quiz you won't have my help. I have this whole chunk right here times h plus r. And I want this h by itself, so that means I got to get rid of this chunk. And since it's all one big chunk of 2 times pi times r, we can just divide this whole thing by 2 pi r. What I do to one side, I want to do to the other one. Okay? Now, these guys go away. I just have an h plus r on this side. I don't need the parentheses no more. And on this side, I have an s over 2 pi r. Keep focusing on what letter. We want the h by itself. I want to get rid of that r now. So I want to minus an r from both sides. And I want to go for my final answer now, because this one looks really weird. Whoops, it's an h. H equals this whole chunk called s over 2 pi r minus r, because these guys aren't like terms, so I just can't put it, somehow together in there all together, so I'm just going to put them at the end. There's a lot of letters in there, h's, s, r's, pi, no big deal, same process. Now we're going to get a little bit more challenging here today. This is what you did last night, so this should be nice and fresh in your head. The larger of 2 numbers is 2 more than 5 times the smaller number. And yesterday we said, let's do something like let s be a smaller number. Oh, you hear those sirens. Okay, so s is going to be our smaller number. Now, I want to show somehow the larger number is of the two numbers is 2 more than 5 times the smaller number. Well, if I don't know what the smaller number is and I need it 5 times that, I'm going to say let 5, 5 in my S's look like, 5 times the smaller number is 2 more than 5 times the smallest number. So that's going to be the larger number. And so I'm hoping after yesterday and today, last night's homework, you're really good at this. They want the sum, so that means we're going to add these two. All right, write it out and get the job done here. Now, be careful on that 5s, because that's a 5s. I don't know why they give us s's and 5s all the time, and I want it to equal 80. Okay, I want to peek down here and see if I got the answers real quick. Nope, I don't. So continue working. Put like terms together. I'm getting a smaller number is 13. So then my larger number is, I want to put the 13 over here. I want to take 5 times 13 plus 2. And are you getting 67? I hope so. Alright. Should be good at those. Oh, there's that pi one. Alright, we did that one, we did that one. Alright, 3 consecutive numbers. I'm just going to check down here to see. Yep, I got these answers. Let's give these two a shot. You're on your own here, and then we'll do the last one. I want 3 consecutive odd integers, and so if you remember yesterday, odds when we have an x plus 2 and then an x plus 4, we're skip counting on those numbers at the end of the term there. Okay, and let's see. So I want to say first number, and I want to shorten it, is our x. The second number is x plus 2, not x plus 1, because that would be consecutive numbers that aren't just consecutive numbers. We want odd, so that means we're skip counting. And we have 3 numbers, I believe it said. So that's going to be an x plus 4. Find 3 consecutive odd integers such that the sum of the smallest, now this is where you got to read because we haven't had one like this, the sum of the smallest number, so the sum of the smallest is x, and the middle number, which would be this one, and we want the sum of those two, is, there's my equal sign, is 27 less than 3 times the largest number. Well, this is going to be my largest number, and I got to show 3 times that. And I want 27 less than that, boy. So see, when you break it down and do all this writing over here, keeping track of things just kind of fall into place. All right. I want to get rid of parentheses, and I'm also going to collect like terms all in one step here, because I see like terms on this side. And I want to get rid of my parentheses on that side in the same step. Now I see like terms over on this side. I want to bring these guys down. It's a negative 15. Okay. I want to get my x's to the other side here to keep them positive. And let's get that 15 to the other side. I'm getting x equals 17. So now I want 3 numbers, consecutive odd integers. I'm good. 17 is an odd number. So my first number is a 17. 17 plus 2 is 18, 19, 20, 21. There's my 3 numbers. Alright. The length of a flat screen TV is 5 inches less than 3 times the width. Alright. It's a flat screen TV. There's my length, there's my width. Usually they'll tell us one thing about something or another, and they're going to give us information about the length. So I want the length, this guy, instead of an L, I need it to be something else. It's 5 inches less than 3 times the width. I don't know what the width is. So now there it is, and remember, perimeter equals 2 times the L plus 2 times the W. Alright, plug those numbers in. We did several of these yesterday. Pause your video and let's see if you can get the answer on your own. Alright, let's see how you did. The one down here. Let's see. So, did you get 20 inches by a 55? Once you got that 20, I just come over here and plug this in. 3 times 20, although I wrote it backwards, minus 5. And I got 55. Hope you did too. Alright, let's do this last one here. Oh, they use Olivia again. And that means an O, so we're going to have to come up with a different letter for Olivia. Olivia and Camille went shopping. Camille spent $19.40 less than twice of what Olivia spent. We don't know what Olivia spent, so we got to come up with a letter over here. Olivia spent, I'm just going to use the B here. B equal what Olivia spent. Okay, so then let's see. Camille spent $19.40 less than twice what Olivia spent, so I don't know what Olivia spent. So I'm going to say let 2 be twice what Olivia spent, and $19.40 less than that. So there's Olivia, I want to let that be, who's the other girl, Camille? Alright, total together, total means atom. They spent this much money. So hopefully you have B plus 2B minus 1940 equals $272.35. Alright, pause your video, finish that guy up, and when you're ready, start it up again. Let's see how you did. Alright, let's see how you did. I did all my work and I got $97.25, so that's up here. That's Olivia's money. So then I plugged it into this equation. 2 times 97.25, take away 1940. Now my calculator spit out 175.1, but it's money, and our money goes to the hundreds place. So make sure you put dollar signs and make it go to the hundreds place. Alright, with that, I think we have enough experience to do all these problems. And it's a good review for tomorrow's quiz. Alright? Alright, we'll see you tomorrow. It's already Friday. Have a good day.